How do we predict floods in places where no streamflow data exists? This is the essence of ungauged basin problem, one of the most persistent challenges in hydrology. Despite advances in modeling and remote sensing, large parts of the world still lack reliable streamflow observations. And yet, engineers are expected to design infrastructure, assess flood risk, and manage water resources in these regions. In this video, we explore how rainfall-runoff modeling is applied in ungauged catchments, the key challenges involved, and the most effective methods used in practice. Stay with me. The ungauged basin problem fundamentally limits our ability to make reliable hydrological predictions. Stream gauges are unevenly distributed, often concentrated in developed regions and large river systems, leaving many catchments, especially remote and developing areas, without observations. This creates several challenges for modelers. First is equifinality and parameter identifiability, where multiple parameter sets produce similar model performance. This reduces parameter identifiability and makes it difficult to establish reliable relationships between model parameters and physical catchment characteristics. As a result, transferring parameters to ungauged catchments become highly uncertain. If you are interested in knowing more about equifinality, please watch our video on this topic. Second is the data scarcity and observation uncertainty. Ungauged catchments lack streamflow data, but the problem goes deeper. Precipitation data is often uncertain, especially in mountainous or remote regions. Discharge data, even in gauged basins, can have uncertainties up to 40%. Catchment descriptors are often simplified and may not capture subsurface processes or spatial variability. These uncertainties propagate directly into model predictions. Next is scale mismatch and resolution challenges. Hydrological processes operate across multiple spatial and temporal scales, creating a persistent mismatch between observation scales, model resolution, and prediction targets. This mismatch introduces additional uncertainty in both modeling and interpretation. Finally, the model structure uncertainty. Choosing the right model structure is also critical. Increasingly, studies show the parsimonious models often outperform complex models in ungauged catchments. This is because complex models require more data and are more sensitive to equifinality. To address the lack of data, hydrologists rely on parameter regionalization, transferring model parameters from gauged catchments to the ungauged ones. For this, there are three main approaches. Let's go through them. First is the regression-based models. These methods develop functional relationships between calibrated model parameters from gauged catchments and their physical climatic characteristics, or what we call catchment descriptors. However, due to equifinality, weak parameter descriptor relationships, and parameters nonlinearity, multicollinearity, and interactions, regression methods generally perform poorly and are not recommended as standalone approaches. Second is the spatial proximity methods. These methods assume the geographically close catchments behave similarly. Therefore, they transfer parameters from the nearest gauged catchments to the ungauged one. They are simple and practical, but their reliability decreases in heterogeneous regions where physical conditions such as geology, topography, land use, or climate vary significantly over short distances. Third are physical similarity methods. These methods identify catchments with similar climatic, physiographic, and geological characteristics and assume they should exhibit similar hydrological behavior, making parameter transfer more reliable than geographic proximity alone. This approach consistently shows the best performance as it directly links catchment properties to hydrological behavior. Recently, new approaches have emerged that aim to better capture system complexity and explicitly quantify uncertainty. Examples include machine learning and clustering techniques, deep learning models such as LSTM and graph neural networks, hydrological signature-based regionalisation, and finally ensemble and model averaging methods. Based on current understanding, several best practices emerge. First, prefer parsimonious models over complex ones. Second, match model to purpose, aligning model selection with prediction objectives. Third, prioritize physical similarity methods where possible. Fourth, include diverse catchment descriptors, especially subsurface features, and don't forget to account for spatial variability. Fifth, explicitly quantify and communicate uncertainty. And finally, always leverage emerging data sources such as satellite remote sensing data global hydrological datasets, and crowdsourced and opportunistic data. Rainfall-runoff modeling in ungauged catchments remains a fundamental challenge in hydrology, because in ungauged catchments, robust predictions are not just about models. They are about informed assumptions, careful methodology, and realistic expectations. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.